You are watching Fugitive Red Eye, and welcome to another episode of Tales from the Drive-Thru. Today will be different because I'll be talking about my time volunteering as kitchen staff, rather than my time working in fast food. I did this a total of 3 times, twice at summer camp and once at winter camp. The first time was a lot more fun, because it was family camp where my parents and my brothers and I were all at the camp, and we were all doing that together. So that first time, pretty simple. All we did was the kitchen staff, and we also went to go do activities like swimming and arts and crafts and all sorts of shit, summer camp stuff. The second time was at winter camp. This one wasn't family camp. It was my first time going alone, although Super Dantastic was also there with me volunteering because we both went. He wasn't with me the first time at family camp, but he went with me the other 2 times. So anyway, at the winter camp, it was also really fun, because we also went skiing in between our working at the kitchen. However, the worst time, which is the one I'm going to primarily be talking about, is the one that we did finally, the second time I did it for summer camp. This was probably my least favorite time I have ever done any work, other than sometimes at McDonald's. So to start with, I didn't really get a chance to do many of the activities because I was constantly having to work in the kitchen, which, I did it the other 2 times, but at least those other 2 times I went and did some activities. Granted, I think I did take archery once during that second summer camp run, but you had to sign up for it, whereas at the other ones you didn't. Part of what made this one so unbearable is I realized that the lady who runs the kitchen is kinda sexist. She lets the women get away with doing hardly anything and leaving us men to do all the work, which is ironic because it's usually the other way around, you would think, with the way things are perpetuated, but no. This lady let the women just go off and do whatever, while Super Dantastic, myself, and the 2 other gentlemen working there had to do all the work. I shit you not, one bitch was gone for like an hour, came back, and and not to mention, the lady who worked the kitchen was hardly there. So, one time while she was gone, the 2 bitches were gone for like several hours, leaving me, Super Dantastic, and the other guys to do all the work. They had just barely come back, sat down, and she was sitting down, looking all upset, and the lady who runs the kitchen comes in and says, "Do you need a break?" And the chick's like, "Yeah," and I sit down for a second, and she tells me not to sit down. So I left. I was like, fuck that. I went off and just sat and didn't do any work for a few hours because I was pissed. That bitch is gonna tell me not to fucking sit down when that other bitch gets a break after being gone for several hours, coming and working for 5 minutes and then taking a seat. Not to mention the girls never fucking woke up on time. And when we didn't the one time we didn't wake up on time, we got bitched at. But all the times they did, no problem, it's fine, they're girls. It was bullshit. And, don't get me wrong, the lady who worked the kitchen was a nice lady, but she let those girls do basically nothing and make us do everything, which, again, by stereotypes, you would think it'd be the other way around. But regardless, I felt that it was unfair that we had to all do, all the men had to do all the work at that fucking camp. It was fucking awful. Not to mention, I didn't do any activities, and I just got angrier and angrier, because the fucking campers were so ungrateful that time around, too. They treated you like shit, and they took everything you did for granted. There was a couple of genuinely nice ones that I was super happy to fucking see every now and then, but there was a lot that were just such assholes. And they'd be like, "Oh, what took the food so long?" Well, you know what, motherfucker? There's 3 of us working on it, and it's a camp with over 100 people. Why don't you get your ass in the kitchen if you're in such a rush? Anyway, after all of this, I haven't been to summer camp since. I was just turned off the whole ordeal from this. Which, also working at McDonald's didn't help because it was a similar experience, but at least at McDonald's I was getting paid for it. And at McDonald's I could get away with a hell of a lot more. But anyway, I think that about does it for today's episode of Tales from the Drive-Thru. I know it's been a while since I've done these. I hope you've enjoyed it, and you have a great rest of the day.